Again is the assassination of Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King. And Dr. Baldwin, before we had our second commercial break, we promised that we would give you an opportunity to sort of give us some additional information about the assassination of Dr. King. Of course, Dr. AAl-Hadid will sort of feed in off that.
Yeah, I wanted to pick up on a point that Dr. AAl-Hadid made about the possibility of the two men coming together. There are two reports about what happened in the weeks prior to Malcolm's assassination. Dr. Kenneth Clark, the black psychiatrist, and also William Consular, who was a civil rights attorney. Both men reported that Malcolm and Martin had scheduled a meeting for February 23rd, 1965. And of course they were to meet in Dr. Clark's office at City College there. Perhaps discuss the future course of the movement, because Dr. King at that time was interested in moving from the north to the south into places like Chicago and perhaps even Harlem to deal with slum conditions and education and other problems that were confronting the inner cities. As Dr. AAl-Hadid pointed out, Malcolm was assassinated on February 21st, 1965, 2 days before that scheduled meeting. And one wonders what would have happened had they had the chance to really meet and talk and to sort of map strategy for the future. I think that too had some influence on the assassination, certainly of Malcolm X, because the meeting was planned about 2 weeks in advance of the assassination. And of course, there was no way that the power elite could allow these two forces to come together in the struggle. I mentioned also before the break that about these two schools of thought on King's assassination. Now, in the early years, 1970, William Bradford Huey published a book called He Slew the Dreamer, and he advanced this lone assassin theory about James Earl Ray being the only assassin, and that theory has lasted up until now. Gerald Posner a couple of years ago, published a book called Killing the Dream, where he advanced that same theory. But I think the prominent theory today is the conspiracy theory. Most of the scholars who deal with the assassination of Dr. King line up with that theory, arguing that that King's assassination resulted from a combination of forces from the intelligence community, organized crime, local police officials, and I tend to subscribe to that theory myself.
You know, Dr.